I'm only 8 years old and I don't think girls are too neat. You know, they're always dressed up and some even have braces on their teeth. Well, that's okay. And you know, sometimes they even wear satin lace and pink, and sure, that is okay for Easter bunnies, but on people, pink stinks. Now one day, I was in the woods and climbed a big high tree. You see, I was Robin Hood then, and the sheriff of Nottingham was looking for me. Well, there I was, sitting as quiet as a spy, when all of a sudden, boom, something hit me from on high. Well, it was only a walnut that hit me on the head. I'm sure glad it wasn't the sheriff's arrow, or I'd surely be dead. So I gave my head a whirl looking for that bird or some frisky little squirrel. But instead, when I looked up, guess what I found? I saw some dumb old girl. There she was sitting on the highest limb of that tree, just swaying her legs, playing like some kind of chimpanzee. Hey up there, I yelled, what's your name? Aren't you afraid you'll fall and surely be dead? Nah, she said as she flipped back her long purple hair on her head. My name's Evelyn, but you can call me Ev. Well, now there was a name I'd never heard before. Usually they call curled stuff like Elizabeth and Eleanor. So I thought it over and I scratched my own head, and I figured she sure was different, this girl named Ev. So I yelled up, hey Ev, come on down. We'll play ball, do some dancing, you know, just run around. Okay, she said as she slid down the tree. If you want first bats, it's okay by me. Well, she threw that ball faster than I could see. The next thing I knew, it was strike three. So I threw the ball, and she went to bat, and I threw the ball. Every time she took a swing, crack, that ball went over the wall. We started to dance, and we did a lot of running, you know. And all of a sudden, Ev stopped, pointed, and said, hey, who's that a-coming? Well, when I looked, I didn't want to believe my eyes. For there was a-coming, all the guys. You see, there was Louie, there was Sam, and there was Freddie Hubble. But when I spotted Roger, I knew there'd be trouble. You see, this Roger Hornsby I'm talking about had of all the guys the biggest mouth. So up comes Roger with the big white grin and says, hey, you Frankie, where you been? Well, what could I do? What could I say? You know, that I was playing with a girl all day? Well, before I could say anything, Roger saw Ev, and I thought he was going to bust when he saw her purple head. So he started to laugh, and he beams like a pearl, and then he yells out, hey, Frankie's been playing here with a girl. Well, the guys asked me if it was true, you know, just to be fair. And did you really have a purple head? I said, well, yeah, but they call her Ev. Well, the guys didn't care if her name was Tom, John, or Earl. The fact was, I was still playing with a girl. So they started to laugh and yell all kinds of things. And thanks to that Roger, they all began to sing, Frankie and Thayer sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes Ev with a baby carrot. Well, there I was, feeling as low as could be, when Ev stepped up to Roger and said, listen, Hornsby, if you open that mouth of yours just once more, you'll find you and your boys laying on the floor. Well, guess what? Old Roger decided to open his mouth, and the next thing we knew, boom, he would lay it plumb right out. Well, when the guys saw Roger fall, they hid behind me and started to ball. Frankie, please don't let her hit me. We want to be your friend, not Hornsby's. Okay, I said as I flipped back my head. That's what you get when you mess with Frankie and Ev. So they all picked up Roger and they all ran away, and I looked at Ev and said, you know what? You're okay. Well, she sort of got bashful and shy like a cat, and I kept thinking to myself, wow, can you imagine that? My friend Ev, that Roger, with just one punch. Hey, Ev, how would you like to come home with me for lunch? Now, the years had passed, and I often mused heartily how it would have been to fulfill that song. You know, the one about Frankie and Sarah sitting in a tree.